Hello, I am Pat Griffen, clinical psychologist, founding member of the Arkansas Association of Black Psychology Professionals, and one of its former presidents. We have been pleased to offer a series of town hall meetings for navigating COVID 19 and racism. This month, we are offering tips for navigating the holiday season during this pandemic. If you've missed any of our previous events, please go to our Facebook page or our YouTube page. The holidays are stressful in general, and this year will be particularly stressful because of everything that is going on globally, nationally, and around the world. This is a stressful time for everybody: children, adults, young, seasoned individuals. Everybody is affected, and we're beginning to suffer from pandemic fatigue, from COVID 19 fatigue. So, what is it that we can do to minimize the stress as much as possible under unusual circumstances? African Americans have suffered disproportionately with this condition. We know the statistics. We disproportionately are being diagnosed at a higher rate, and disproportionately we are dying at a higher rate. We are not out of the woods. The end is not in sight. So, going into this holiday season, we have to accept the reality that we are living with a life threatening pandemic. And because of that, it's important for us to continue to practice those safety measures. It can be tempting to gather and celebrate like we have in the past, but this is not the year. Dr. Fauci has said the risk is a little bit lower outside in the open air, but the winter months will not permit this. And we're expecting a peak, a surge during the fall and winter seasons. So we have to be realistic about what we're dealing with. Many of us have gone through suffering the death of friends or loved ones because of this pandemic and for other reasons. So I think first and foremost, we have to accept the fact that this is a different year, and we need to be realistic about this. In general, anxiety and depression are much higher for everyone. Children are also being affected. But in the midst of this, what are some tips that we can use to minimize the stress and have a peaceful, safe holiday? First and foremost, it's important to continue to practice those safety measures. We know the guidelines that we've been told from the CDC: washing our hands at least 20 seconds, wearing masks, maintaining social distance. It may again be tempting to celebrate by getting together with family and friends, but this is not advisable. This is an opportunity to look at some creative ways of connecting with families. Most of us are burned out on Zoom, but thank goodness for Zoom so that we can still stay connected. Dr. Tiffany Haynes, one of our members, will be offering tips on how to creatively celebrate. So be on the alert and on the lookout for those creative ways of celebrating the holidays. I just want to share some basic tips to keep in mind to maintain good health during holiday 2020. It's important first to get an adequate amount of sleep, 7.5 to 8 hours. Most of us are struggling getting those 7.5 to 8 hours. But it's important to set that as a goal. Set a certain time to go to bed, a certain time to get up, and be disciplined about the wake sleep hours. Secondly, healthy nutrition is important. This needs to be the goal because our body will function much better if we continue to eat healthy, even during the holiday season. We may splurge here or there. That's okay, but moderation is the key. Third, get some form of exercise. And if you can get out in the fresh air and walk, that would be even better. Days are getting shorter, but if you can expose yourself to the ultraviolet light of the sun, that's very important. That vitamin D helps to energize us. It's also important for us to have time for rest and relaxation. And I encourage individuals to either meditate or engage in mindfulness activities, and there are apps on your phone that you can use just for that purpose. We are spiritual individuals. African Americans have a strong spiritual base. Spirituality can be another way of mitigating stress during the holidays through prayer, through scripture, through meditative reading. Contemplative prayer can be very calming and very soothing during this time of year. There may be events around town that you can connect by Zoom. I would encourage that as well. Be creative in connecting with your family around Zoom. Sadly, this will be a difficult season for many who have suffered the death of a friend or loved one. And grief is a reality. It's very important to connect with grief. Grieving is normal and natural. It may be helpful for you to spend some time alone with thoughts of your loved one. And if you're far enough along the grief journey that you can engage in storytelling, sharing memories about that special person, this too can be healthy for meandering this grief journey during holiday 2020. Above all, keep safe. Take care of yourselves. And from the Arkansas Association of Black Psychology Professionals, have a safe and happy holiday. Take care.